China is in trouble, and it could potentially take the US market down with it. The Chinese Hang Seng market is down over 2.2% today. Evergrande, the Chinese property and holding company, has over $300 billion of debt. Their next debt payment is coming due, and it's a jumbo payment of $260 million due October 3rd. The good news is they have a grace period of 3 to 5 days to make that payment. Light bulb moment. Now we understand why this stock has been halted by the Chinese government until Monday, October 10th. The Chinese government wants to make sure they will make good on their payment. Light bulb moment again. Just like when I tell you in trading, always have two moves. So the Chinese government is waiting to see if Evergrande defaults or if they don't default. They know exactly what they're going to do in either situation. Now, there is a silver lining. There's two bits of positive news for Evergrande. Number one, Hobson is buying controlling interest in one of Evergrande's property units for 40 billion yuan, which is the Chinese dollar. It's not the US dollar. So when you hear 40 billion yuan in US dollars, that's about 7 billion. So understand they still owe 293 billion more dollars, which is why there is concern. Now, the second bit of good news, and I won't call it good news anymore. The Evergrande CEO pocketed $8 billion worth of dividends. At the same time, he asked his employees to lend the failing company money from their own pockets, which, if you ask me, is pretty disgusting. But wait, it gets worse. He also froze those same workers' pay. To summarize, the company is struggling. Morale is down. There is uncertainty. The uncertainty is focused on the Chinese market. And this dude, the chairman, is taking $8 billion worth of dividends and forcing his own workers to put their own money back in the company while not being paid. Can anybody say the one word I'm thinking? Revolution. Do not think this is the only Chinese stock that is struggling. There are 9 stocks on the Chinese market that have been halted. Last I count. A few supply chain companies, a few real estate companies similar to Evergrande. Now, if China doesn't have its own concerns, COVID, their economy, GDP numbers, geez, why not? Let's arm and send 39 fighter jets to do a flyby over Taiwan. Now, let me get to the worst news that nobody is speaking about. But first, if you find value in my update, if you find value in my lessons, please hit that like button, subscribe, and push notifications. Okay, here it is. Here's the alert. China has an energy crisis. China has an energy shortage. They are the world's biggest economy. They have the world's largest population, but they don't have enough energy to power their own country. Shh. Light bulb moment. Now I understand why China is taking such a strong stance against Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. Now keep in mind, they do own $10.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, while the US government only owns $3.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now that's another video all on its own. Now for my subscribers in California who understand the term rolling blackouts, who lose power for 3 to 4 hours at a time, but are told in advance that they will have a power outage. Understand, those in China now have rolling blackouts of 12 to 24 hours, and they get no pre or advance warning. Now add in COVID concerns, chip shortages, and other supply chain issues. Stay tuned, stay informed, stay with me. Wow, what a crazy morning in the market. Now let's remember, I went on pre-market and I shot a video for my platform and I told them, hey, it's going to be a red day today, but understand, we don't know how red it's going to be. So envision two things happening. Number one, the market goes down and at 10 o'clock, it looks like it's going to recover. Or it gets worse at 10 o'clock and you will see the worst the market's at maybe around 11 or 11:30 a.m. That's what happened, the latter of the two. So I planned accordingly. Let me tell you about my profitable positions. I'm in 4 positions today. 2 of them I closed out for profit. 2 of them are still open. The first one was Las Vegas Sands calls. Yes, Las Vegas Sands calls. I thought it was going up. When it opened this morning, I bought at open. I alerted people to that. I sold with 35% profit on the spike. Now, did I know the market was going to get ugly and go down? Kind of, but I tell everybody, first rule, secure profit. Once you have your entry, we plan ahead right away. As soon as we plan ahead, we know exactly what we're looking to make out of the trade. In this case, I was looking to make 30%. Now, my second trade, similar to my first trade, revolved around a Dow stock, Carnival Cruise Lines, CCL. Now, I entered into a little late. So instead of making 30% or 35%, I was shooting for 24%. As soon as I got 24%, I'm in and I'm out. Now, my third position was UVXY puts. Now, I bought four puts a little too early at 10:14 in the morning. Remember, I said the market will be at its worst somewhere between 11 a.m. and 11:45. So again, I even break my rules. Sometimes I have FOMO and I pay the price. The good thing is I dip my toe in. I use that lesson. So I bought 4 contracts. Now I hold about 24 contracts. So we all know that I like to sometimes go as deep as 200 contracts. Let's remember, against the UVXY, I am undefeated. I have never lost. So when I'm telling you, and I come on here and I shoot a video with an update to positions, and I tweet about it, and I post about it, and I add it on Webull, that I'm going into puts, that I am sure I'm going to make money. So when I'm including it in this video, couldn't make me happier, because if the UVXY stays at $25 by the end of today, and you're watching this video, and the UVXY is at $25, you can enter into the same positions as me. Now, let's remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a very smart person who is undefeated against the UVXY. Now, I'm going to talk about one other position that I have going into this afternoon. I have calls on SoFi. SOFI. Now, the same reason I returned 100% on Friday, I know there's demand for this stock. So I watched this stock get beat up from $16.50 to $16.30. And the last time I went on YouTube, I said, when this happens again and it gets beat up, pushed all the way down to $16, I'm going to jump in again and I'm going to make the same 100% return. So that was my strategy. Now it's up to me to execute. So as it's going down, 1630, 1629, I'm saying, okay, let me buy a couple contracts. I bought a couple contracts. It went up. Then I shot my 11 a.m. video and I said, the market's going to get uglier. When it does, my contracts that are currently up 8% will turn negative, and they could turn negative by 5, 10, or 15%. Now, the people following me on the platform said, okay, they're at $1.05 now. He's telling me it could go down by 15 cents. Let me put in my ask for 90 cents. So you put in your ask for 90 cents. Yes, it got hit. It went as low as 85. Now, here's the golden thing about it. I plan to get $1.70 per contract. They're the $15.50 calls that expire this Friday. So again, I'm looking for $1.70, meaning if you got it at 90 cents, you could get $1.70. You can make a return of 88%.